When we talk about camp safety, which when we talked about from the ground up, we start looking at trees. When you look around in a big old forest like this, you think this looks pretty safe. But in reality, it can be actually very dangerous. When you camp, it can go from uncomfortable to dangerous to deadly very rapidly. What you're looking for is you're looking for branches and things that are going to break and fall. But if you look at how big this oak tree is, how much weight is on this, there are tons of weight on this tree. And in a storm, it might go that way, but it can just as easily come back this way. So you start looking at things and hazards for trees, you start looking up and going, if that branch fell, what would it do? So when you hear terms like widowmakers and snags, we're going to show you a couple of examples of that. This branch fell off that perfectly healthy oak tree. This branch weighs several hundred pounds. In fact, there was enough pressure to bend this tree all the way over and create what's called a spring pole, which is another dangerous condition. This tree, okay, is actually two trees, and all of this inside, this is just bark that's grown together. So one of these is more dominant than the other one. And one has more of the root system, is a little stronger. These trees can easily split. One can break off and fall anytime you get a big wind. Here is a really good example of a very, very large tree. If you look up this big cottonwood, you can see that it has a little bit of something going on there, but it really doesn't look that major. This is a very, very large tree. Tons of wood on that tree. But when you come around to this back side, and you look up that tree, you see what's going on here. There's a crack in it from the bottom all the way up to at least 3/4 of the height of this tree, and it's actually hollow. The key to this all is two things. Be sky aware, know what's going on in your surroundings, what is the weather pattern, what's the forecast for your area, and number two is stop and look around. Before you set yourself up and get all comfortable, look around and make sure you're not setting yourself up for disaster. But what you want to do is take a couple of minutes to be prepared for that fire. Always remove any of that, pull it back some, give yourself a buffer zone. What you never want to use is accelerants. So gasolines, white gas, oils, any of that. If you just take a little more time to build that fire correctly, this is a one match fire. Stick one match underneath that, it'll stay right up.